Hi, my name is Mark and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel, The Media Nerd. In this video, I'm going to go over the setup, software installation, and operation of this PowerSlideX Plus by Pacific Image Electronics. Now this machine transfers 35mm slides, just sort of like this one here, and it can handle up to 50 slides at one time using this cartridge. Now, why would you want to purchase a machine like this? Well, you may be like me and you have a video transfer service and you're looking into scanning 35mm slides and you need a machine that will handle a lot of slides at one time. Or you just came across a huge box of slides left over from your family that needs to get scanned. Now, I gotta tell you, I love this machine and I haven't even started using it yet. And the reason is, this is the third machine that I've owned over the 10 years or so of transferring 35mm slides. And what makes this one different from its predecessor is it boasts that it can scan slides 2.5 times faster. So that's really cool. So let's stop wasting time and get this going. Before you plug in your scanner and get it operational, the first thing you want to do is go to the Pacific Image Electronics website and download the software and driver. So pick your favorite browser and type in ScanAce. Pops right up for me because I've already been there. And you want to go to Scanners and Current Model. Scroll down the page and you're going to see the new product, PowerSlideX Plus. Go ahead and click on that. Here we go. We're now going to go to Downloads. And you can download the manual right here. And then you want to also download the drivers. So here's a driver for Mac. And I'm working on a PC. So we're going to download the driver for Windows right here. And this is the latest version, the 5.20.65. Download. No preview available, that's okay, hit download. Download anyway. And pick your downloads folder and hit save. Okay, we can close out the browser and let's go to our downloads folder. And here it is, CyberView X Windows. Double click and click more info right here. And click Run Anyway. And it is going to go through the installation process right now. Installation is complete. Hit Close. And now we have an icon right on our desktop called CyberView X. You could probably also view it in your program files right through here. There it is right there. Now that we have the software downloaded, we're going to turn on the scanner. I'm going to just plug in the USB. It's right in the back. Power switch is on the left. Now that it's turned on, click on your CyberView X, and it's going to go through an initialization process for a couple of minutes, and you're going to see the arm come in and out, and you're going to need to have plenty of space in front of the machine for that to work. And we're initializing the scanner. Here it goes. Perfect. This is the main interface of your window. Here you have your active frame setting. We're going to go to scan mode, and I always pick quality. The color depth is 8-bit or 16-bit. I always use 16-bit. You can hit apply to all. Right here is your advanced settings. For the output, I'm going to choose the 1250. Now there are a lot of different types of DPI, which stands for dots per inch, 250 to 10,000 and custom. So the higher the DPI, the longer the scan is going to take for that picture, and also the better the image is going to be. Now 600 DPI is great for archival images. I like to do a little bit higher for my clients, so I pick around 1,000, but I'm doing 1250 right now. One of the important things about this window is the color depth. Now, if you do JPEG images, it's only always going to do 8-bit because it is a compressed file. But then you also have an option called TIFF, which is an uncompressed file, and it's going to give you a lot more color, but you have to use TIFF uncompressed for 16-bit. So all of this looks really good right here, and now we're going to go to our settings. Now you have your preferences here icon, or you can go to your preferences over here. So I'm going to click positive, and it's going to give you a lot of different options to choose from. The first thing we're going to do is choose our directory. I'm going to hit browse, and let's pick a folder. We're going to go into my E drive, and we're going to do a new folder. The images that I'm using take place in 1976. So I'm going to create a folder called 1976 and hit select. Folder 1976, that looks great. Now right here is the base file name. Let me delete that really quick, what's on there. The base file name is going to be the prefix of your images, so they're just not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what I'm going to do is type in Tachna 1976. I'm going to do that because if you have a lot of cartridges that hold up to 50 and they're all named different dates, you're going to want to most likely separate all of your cartridges out into different folders just for great organization purposes. So having 1976 for the prefix base file name is perfect. The user-defined start number, I'm going to go with 1, and the digits 4 is fine. Now here is where I was telling you about the 8-bit and the 16-bit. So if you do JPEG, it's always going to do the 8-bit no matter what. So we're going to do the TIFF, which is the uncompressed for 16-bit. The pre-scan resolution, we're going to get to that in just a minute, but here's your advanced settings. The advanced settings are all auto mode, and the auto on this machine is really, really nice, and that's what I always use. So you can do auto exposure, auto color, auto contrast. The magic touch, that takes care of any kind of dust or scratches or just little artifacts that might be on your slide that you weren't able to clean off. So we're going to do magic touch. I'm not going to worry about the multi-pass exposure. So that looks good. Default scan area. Manual, you can crop as you want, but I always leave this just how it is. So I'm going to go through and make sure everything looks good, and I'm going to hit OK. We're just about ready to scan. Here is a nice little feature to be able to preview your slides before scanning. Just lay it in the window and press down, and a little light turns on. Here's the cartridge to put your slides in. It has the numbers on the top, 1 through 50. And what you're going to want to do is take your slide, and see it's up right now. You're going to flip it so it's upside down and slide it in to number 1. And that's what you're going to do with all of your slides. I'm not going to fill up all 50. I want to take my handy dandy duster that removes dust and lint remover, and I'm going to give it a spray. You're going to want to spray it this way so the slides don't go shooting out. If you spray the other way, the slides are going to go everywhere. So give it a quick blast off, just like that, to remove any dust or lint. Now you're going to flip it over so the number 1 is going to be facing the arm, and the opening is going to be facing this way, and you're going to just want to slide it in until it touches the arm. The set current position, you're always going to want to start it at number 1 on the magazine. And this is the reload magazine. So the old model I had, you didn't have to really mess with that, but with the new PowerSlideX Plus, you're going to want to reload it so it advances it to the first slide. So it is now advanced to the first slide, and over here is the scan option. We're going to click the down arrow, and we want to do multi-scan to file. And here you can select your range. So I'm going to go 1 through 4. If you're a full magazine, 1 through 50, then you're going to want to use 1 through 50. And as soon as I hit OK, it's going to start. There we go, it's scanning number 1. I know the film type is a positive 135. My resolution is 1250. Magic Touch is on. It's doing its job. It's advancing to the second slide. You can go to your folder where you have everything saved. And at 1976, and you can start looking at your images. Here's Tachna 1976. Look at how nice and sharp that image is just by opening it up. That's me, that's my brother, my mother, my sisters, and my dad. And we're playing ice hockey in our swimming pool in Pennsylvania for the winter. So we can zoom this in just to see the clarity. I recommend you scan all of your images at 600 DPI, which is archival. Once they're scanned in, you can look at your images and see which ones you want to make prints out of, and then go back and scan them at a higher DPI resolution to be able to make prints. Now that we did the full auto mode, let's go to the pre-scan setting to see what that's all about. Now, I do recommend that if you have a ton of slides, you may want to just use the auto setting. But if you have a few and you want to manually adjust all the colors, this is how you do it. Let's go back to settings. Right here you have pre-scan resolution, 250 or 500 DPI. Let's click 500 DPI so we can really get a nice view of the scan before we actually commit to scanning it. We're in our settings, advanced. We're going to take off all of these settings, the auto exposure, auto color, auto contrast. I'm going to leave the Magic Touch on. Default scan setting, we're going to do the manual crop area so we can crop how we want and hit OK. The file path and everything should be fine. So let's go to reload magazine. It put the first slide in. I'm only going to do one slide. Let's go to the pre-scan icon. Let's do the current frame. Okay, we have it in our thumbnail panel, and here it is right here. This is your crop line. So you're going to probably want to do your own cropping, just like that. You have your color wheel right here. This is your image adjustment, so you can have variations. On the right, it's going to give you a preview. Here is your original. Yellows, reds, darker, magenta, blues. You can choose your shadows, your midtones, your highlights. This is the revert back to the original. So if you had a ton of pictures, you can do apply to all frames if you would like. Here's the color balance. It's your brightness, contrast, saturation. So you can brighten it up. Let's put it back to 0. Contrast. Here's your different colors you can adjust. Cyan, red, magenta, green, yellow, blue, go back and forth. Curves and levels. You can adjust your curves and levels through here. if you would like. RGB, red, green, and blue. And hit OK. Let's just say that's how I want it. You know, let's just try the original scan without any of the color correction. So we're going to go to our scan icon, scan selected to file. Okay, now that we have that image scanned, let's go back to our folder and check out the difference between the two. So here are the two photos back to back. The one on the left is the original scan with everything automatic with the scanner. The one on the right is the scan with everything manual, but I didn't do any kind of adjustments to it. Now remember, you can always do adjustments in like Photoshop if you want, but you know, they both look really great. The one on the left, the auto scanning, I find that it's superior to the one on the right. It's so much easier to do. So if I were you and you're doing tons of slides, pick with the auto. Best way to go. So the software is really nice to use. It's very easy. You get a hang of it fairly quickly just by doing a few scans. You'll be an old pro at it. So that is how you transfer your slides using the PowerSlideX Plus by Pacific Image Electronics. I do have a link in the video description to Amazon, so you're able to buy this. And remember, you will be helping my channel if you do purchase it, and I thank you very much for it. Now, if you don't have the time or you don't have the means to be able to transfer your own media, I would love to be able to help you out. You can contact me at info@coloradospringsvideo.com, or you can visit my website, www.coloradospringsvideo.com. I do have a page on that site with an order form that you can fill out. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe, like, and ring that bell for future notifications. You have yourself a wonderful day.